do we decide that this is something I want to take to the next level? Let's date. I want to kind of like see where this can go. Let me add you to the roster. You're no longer a friend. You're one of the potentials. What is the turning point for y'all to decide that?
Yeah, there definitely has to be the connection there for me to even consider me wanting to enter that type of relationship with you. But I think it's just a conversation, really. And if you both are on the same page regarding that, then let's see where it goes,
Yeah.
That's kind of my simple answer. I think it's just a conversation.
Is there a time frame on that? Like, how early is too early?
No. 2 weeks. That's too early. Okay, if I were to put a time frame on it, I would say 90 days.
Okay.
Of getting to know a person before we say, okay, let's take it to the next level and we're just going to date exclusively.
Come through, Carrie Bradshaw, with the 90-day rule, honey. Yes.
I thought that was Joan.
I was gonna say that's for Joan, right? No,
that's Joan Clayton, honey.
That's 30
I thought
days.
Carrie Bradshaw had one. I thought Carrie Bradshaw had a 90-day rule.
They were whores.
No, I thought she had like a 90-day rule.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. I feel like true connections, you can never put a time frame on. So if I truly have a connection with this person, I do believe in instant love. I do believe that love does come at first sight for some people. It's rare as hell now, but I do believe in that because love comes. When it comes, you never want to give it up. And baby, I'm caught in the line and I ain't...
Of course he forgets the fucking words!
No more.
How many times?
Want you to want me.
Fuck all that. How? Look, how many times have you actually seen someone who claimed to have fallen in love at first sight? How long, or how many times have you seen that actually last?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right about that. I'm just saying, though, I don't want to discount that because that is some people's experiences. I've never had that. But I have seen people go through moments like that. I've heard even elderly people, even though I know we don't live in that time anymore.
But they don't. I don't think they move that as well. Too.
I've met people that I just click with, friends. Yeah. I've met guys that I've just clicked with immediately. But I wouldn't call that or confuse that with instant love.
Okay. Let me rephrase it. Not moving in action to the love, but just to say, I've heard people say like, "I'm going to marry you one day." And they actually did. You know what I mean? So I think working up to it, but in your mind, you're like, I could see us actually being something in the future, being, husband and husband. All right. Hello, God.
I'm into that. Because I am someone who, and I've gotten away from that, I hope. I used to fall in love very quickly. And I used to become like super infatuated with the guy. And it's sometimes a lot for somebody, especially when, they have a history of just like smashing them, dashing, smashing, so to feel that sometimes it's a lot of pressure. So I'm here for it, but it comes with its own curse, I would say.
I believe that you could look at a person and you might be in lust, but I don't believe that. Love at first sight, because you know nothing about this person.
I was just about to say, absolutely nothing about
it. You don't even know a motherfucker until probably about a good 6 months of dating. And I want to bring a point out too that I wrote down, that it's important to do when you're dating or in a relationship. It's important to do checkups, reevaluations, and I say every 3 months, because the first 3 months are always great in a relationship. That next 3 months up into 6. That's when you start really knowing a person, when they let the guards down and you really get to learn who the fuck they are. And after that, it's just to make sure that, okay, this is the person that I'm really compatible with. I think it's important to do that. To just do some self-reflection and evaluate the relationship to make sure that shit is right.
Because the girls will sit here and they'll fall head over heels. You become blinded, those smoke and mirrors, those cloak and dagger moments, child. And then a whole year done went by, and child, you find out that he ain't shit.
Or no. You knew the shit. You just ignored
Yeah,
it.
you knew
Yeah.
it. You
You
kind of
knew
knew
it.
it. Your intuition told you,
Yeah.
girl. Your intuition told you. You just mm-mm. I'm gonna choose to close my eyes and look the other way. We've all
Like,
done it. We've all
like,
been there.
like you
Yeah.
overlooked that Jack's notification that popped up over, on the phone because you didn't want to
Oh,
scroll.
bitch, I ain't overlooking no fuck. I ain't overlooking that bitch. If I hear the cha 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 on the phone, bitch, heads will fucking roll.
All jokes aside, I can't stand the things that men find more important than their significant other. Like I feel girls like fish when they start. You always want to hang out with your boys. I'm like, I feel the same. Like I feel you, girl. Like this is your girl. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You should be wanting to spend time with her. You can always chill with the fellas and the niggas. And sometimes I can see why some of them bitches be thinking they niggas a little yang yang yang. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be around all that dick. You like being around all that dick.
I wouldn't give a fuck if you was around a koala bear, bitch. If I'm with you, I need your time and attention. Like,
Yeah.
and if I'm not getting it, it makes me not trust these niggas, and it makes me want to go into a hoe phase, which is the
Yeah.
title of our next fucking episode. Bitch, I had to put on Dreams by Lil Kim just to remind myself of, bitch, if I'm gonna do some whole shit, if I'm gonna get out in these streets and I'm gonna do the dirty, then I need to do it the right way. Now, I'm not gonna name no names because I don't want to bear no blame. That's what they say in the Southern Baptist Church. But I need to get out here and I need to sow my wild oats because I don't want that. I don't want to be at home waiting by the phone while, my nigga's out doing whatever he doing with whoever, whether it's his friends or if he out cheating. I don't want to be in that position. So I know last episode we talked about, finding the perfect, well, bitch, it didn't work out. So now it's time to have some fun. We're in our 30s. We're young. I think a whole face is necessary, but I think you should just do it properly. What do y'all think about whole faces?
YB, I think you would be a great opener for that.
No shade.
I mean, he did just say that he was on a whole face.
No shade.
I'm just saying.
Well, yes. I feel like I never really got out of it though. Again, that goes into a deeper conversation that I'll probably bring it later on. But I feel like I don't like late bloomers because I feel like those people become unfaithful much later on. Get it out your system. I started sucking dick when I was 11. I started getting penetrated. Hello God, which means for the girls that don't know what that means, well, you should know what that means. So,
Bitch, if you're on season 2 and you heard that explicit how many licks episode that YB gave us, you know what penetration means.
I'm just saying though, I didn't do that till I was like 18, and then it was on from there. Because once you get that good piece of that good jug, honey, it's hard to let go.
Wait, so I've not been for 6 years before. Wait. You said 11?
Yeah, I started sucking dick when I was.
So
11.
So you
7.
was sucking dick for 11
You was sucking dick for 7 years before you got a dick plugged in your
7
ass?
years.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, girl.
Like men,
I have been fluidly fucking by then, both men and women, honestly.
I tried in between those time periods, but the booty hole was so small, girl. Like, can't nobody get up in there.
Yes.
But what is
Oh, it's tight. It's tight. It's tight. It's just
this pussy squeaky, honey.
No, but think about that though. I was a child technically. I was a minor, so technically, yeah, your booty hole should be small. If it's big, then something's wrong, girl. You need to contact someone, girl, for help.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it just would never go because me, I'm a size queen. So even when I was younger, you had to have big dick to fuck with me, baby. Okay, Dreams. You didn't know Joe was my hoe. Okay, yes, I don't know the rest, but yes, honey. Okay, like. Hoeing is necessary. That way you can go ahead and get it out of your system because there's nothing like a virgin. Even for women too, though, I noticed when their cherries get popped, it's on and popping. You know how they used to say, girl, ever since you got a little thing, you smelling yourself. It's the truth, especially when you're younger. That sexual overdrive, those motherfucking hormones are raging. You get your first piece of dick, child, you don't know how to act. it's important to have it. I think it's healthy. Sex is healthy. I think those are real conversations that need to happen, because the more you try to restrict people, more specifically young people, from doing things, it makes them want to do them even
Even
more,
more,
and in
yeah.
more unsafe, uneducated kind of type of environments. If you
Yeah.
educate your children, educate your people, let them know that sex is healthy, and be good at it. Because you ain't finna marry a nigga ain't finna marry no bitch who know how to suck no dick.
I might be on the opposite end of that. I think
Okay.
it's necessary to have sexual experiences with different people, but a whole phase, not necessarily. Um, shit. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think I've had like a whole phase. I've had
Okay.
fun with different people, but
Hmm.
just to say I was just out fucking just to be fucking, I've never done that. And
For me, I don't think that's what it is though. For me, my whole phase started about like 2 years ago. I'm
okay,
31.
so how will we define a whole phase?
I think for me, a whole phase is fucking multiple people at once, casually fucking. For me, because I'm very conservative. So, like I was saying, I was only cycling out maybe 3 or 4 niggas, and I knew them. These were not randoms. These are niggas that I knew that I had fucked before, and I just decided to fuck them all within the same cycle of time. That to me was my whole phase. I wasn't out here, catching bodies. That wasn't my thing, but I still feel like I experienced the whole phase. I am not going to go over
Well,
there
see, I wouldn't even
because
consider that a whole
Hold
phase
on,
because
bitch.
no, I wasn't throwing shade. I was just saying, like, it's a difference. See, bitch, you be putting your own tea out in the streets.
see, Kat, I wouldn't even consider that a whole phase. You're just having fun. I consider a whole phase like you just out fucking random ass niggas. You meet every night. You meet a nigga on Jack, a different one. Bitch,
But
yes,
wait,
you.
I
Bitch.
want to believe that I've had a whole phase too because it's out of my norm for me. Like,
Right.
I don't casually fuck. So for me to do that and just express myself so fluidly, it felt like a whole phase.
I feel attacked. First
Insecurity
of
is
all, I feel like I don't want to shame people, because that's like, I have to be honest with you. Like, sometimes it just is what it is. I feel like I have
When do
been
you?
with three
What's
guys
your
in
age
like,
limit? YB on when you think people should stop being hoes?
I definitely feel like as you come into your 30s, it's time to at least, by the time you're 29, the thought process of being a hoe should change. Period.
You
Like,
said by 29, the thought process should be, how old are you?
bitch, I'll be 34 next month. So
So
I
you're a hoe.
said,
So you're a hoe now, telling other people
to
this is
stop hoeing at 30.
I did start my thought process. My thought process is always processing. And I said, by the time you're 35, that's when it all should go. Because you don't want to be and I know we put a lot of restrictions and limitations when it comes to age, especially in the LGBT community. But I think it's important, by the time you're 40, think about it. Like, you don't want to be some old queen who has just been used up by the neighborhood girl. Like, you don't
yeah.
want to be those old dusty white queens from the dirty Twitter on your knees in your grandmother's basement serving 18-year-old trade behind a glory
First of
hole.
all, the fact that you in your grandma's basement, why you can't serve trade from your apartment, from your home? Bitch, what the
That's
fuck?
I honestly feel like we don't start really knowing ourselves sexually until we're in our mid 30s, to be honest. Because just conversing with both of you, like, I know that there are certain things that you guys are willing to do, and there's a lot of things that you guys said that y'all won't do.
Yeah.
However, I used to be that way too, and I'm 36. Now I've opened my mind up a lot, and hey, I'm willing to explore more and willing to do different things. So, kind of playing around, I guess, or having a quote unquote whole phase now wouldn't be so crazy to me, because now I know what I like, what I'm open to, and more so what I'm not open to. But I think mid 30s is a time to have a whole phase, and like
Okay.
men, kind of, I think they say men reach their sexual peaks like in their 30s, right? or 40,
Mid
or
to late
like
30s.
something like that. And women
Between
are
like 35 and 45, a nigga is like in his prime.
30.
Yeah.
I'm right in that age, and now I'm like, okay, like I'm not having a whole phase, but I would be more open now to having a whole phase.
So speaking of opening your mind, Jace, would you be open to like if you're in your whole phase, would you be open to adding an ex to that roster, or even going further to say being friends with an ex?
That just hit home. I actually just reconnected with the ex maybe
Okay.
2 years. Yeah, it'll be 2 years in January that I
Okay.
reconnected with this person, and him and I had not spoken in 8 years prior to that, and just
Okay.
talking to him, getting to know him now. And I know he's gonna watch the shit and hear it, but I would actually date him now. Like, I like the man that he is now. And I know they say Summer Walker for a reason, you know what I'm saying? But I actually like the man that he. But you are not crying.
Because this is why, because when y'all get married, this video is gonna be a part of the video. This is where it all started when he found out, girl, that you, girl. Oh, I'm so happy that I could be a part of this, girl. But yeah, for real.
But I actually like the man that he is today, and we were actually just talking the other day in DM or whatever. And like he didn't deal with kids before. He didn't want kids. He didn't like none of that shit. And like he has godchildren and stuff now. And he's always posting like little videos in the story with his goddaughter and stuff like that. And I just commented on it, and I was like, LOL, like this is so funny. He's like, well, what's funny? I was like, because this isn't the person that I knew. So just seeing him like mature and evolve, I really like that, and I would actually date him now as an adult.
Yeah.
And another thing you said, also being friends, him and I have built a friendship now, because back then I was on that shit. We went out on one day and we were damn near together, basically together after that, you know. We've developed a relationship now, and I like the friendship that we've developed.
Would you be able to accept, like, if y'all become friends, y'all build a friendship, and where his life is taking him and where your life is taking you, maybe they just don't meet at the time? Could you accept that, damn, I really wanted to take this further, but I can't, so let's just settle for being friends? Would that be okay?
I kind of have been talking to myself about that, because I'm like, I like the friendship that we have now, because we didn't have that before. So would it be appropriate to cross those lines now? I don't know. I'm on the fence with that.
Have a conversation.
Like, if I met him today, I would date him. And I think
have a conversation. I'm telling you from experience, friend. Have a conversation. I've had a friend in my life cross those lines, and the actions that took place after took us to a place that it's very difficult to come back from. Like, at the beginning when you started talking, it inspired me about that situation, because we haven't talked in a while. He is blocked, and but we're friends on Facebook, but that's it. Everything else he's blocked on. And I'm sure, you know, I'm into tarot, honey, and all of the cards, all of the readers tell me that there's somebody out there that wants to make amends for how they did me. Nobody else has really betrayed me deeply. He has. And so I know that he wants to make those amends, but it's just like, that bridge is burnt. You know, we could try to rebuild a friendship on my terms, but that bridge is burnt. So before you get to this place, have a genuine conversation with him and just assess the risk. And just be adult about, what you guys feel. If you guys do try it and it doesn't work, be adults about it. Have that transparency, that conversation, that honesty. Because that was also a factor. He didn't know how to tell me that I want to be a hoe. And I know he's going to see this. I want to be a hoe, but you make me not want to be. And that fucks with my plan of being a hoe, Tell me that. That's all you had to do. And we would still be friends right now, because I know the vibes I give. I knew this was going to happen to you. But because there was no communication, everything is fucked up now.
That's sort of similar to our situation. Like, he was new. I was living in Atlanta at the time. Like, he was new to Atlanta. We were both 25 years old at the time. Like, that was his first time being out on his own. He wanted to have his whole phase, I guess. So I wasn't on that. at that time. So that's kind of basically why we didn't work. I feel because of and of course there was no communication on that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much like the demise of that situation: lack of communication and immaturity, and wanting to be a hoe, pretty much.
But your present situation shows that people do change. People make mistakes. People are human. I had to realize that. I stopped hating him a long time ago because he's a fucking human. He's not gonna be perfect. He's not gonna level up to every expectation that I set for him. But accountability is important. That I had to learn that, and that's one of my deal breakers.
I know what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
That's actually one of the things that helped us get to this point is because we had a long conversation.
Good.
And he really took accountability for shit that I didn't even remember. And he was like, I remember I did this and I'm sorry for this. And that's why we are in the place that we are now. So that's definitely a huge factor of taking accountability. Oh, and actually on both parts, because I did some shit that may have been kind of fucked up, to some people. But at the end of the day, like, he realized that shit, and he's actually getting therapy and stuff. Like, he's going through therapy and stuff like that.
Oh, girl!
And back on the previous episode, I said that has to be something that's one of those deal breakers.
This is the one.
People who don't get help. But anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Hoe Phases. This thing got out.
Girl, I don't know how we got down this road, but girl, what are the colors? You gotta still. Please tell me you still got your Pinterest.
Yeah.
Okay, cause girl, you need it. You are about to need it. Yo, YB, let me ask you, could you be friends with an ex?
Yeah, depending on how things ended. If it ended amicably and peacefully, and I don't see why not. But if it ended in Pompeii volcano eruption type of vibes, then probably not. But going into what Jace was talking about, I believe that, again, we're meeting people where they're at, not where they're probably going to go. Life experiences can send people into a different type of future. Because of who you are now doesn't dictate who you're going to become in the next 5-10 years. So it may not have worked. In the words of Heather Hatley, if it comes back around, it might be meant to be. He's grown, he's changed. Even in my old situation, if 10 years from now he was completely different and I was available, there could be potential there. But then, no, because that ended in fire and brimstone. So, bitch, all I can think about is want to kill your motherfucking ass. Because I feel I put my feelings down, girl. Why couldn't you be what I needed, honey? Why couldn't you be what I needed when I needed you to be that way? And now what's even more fucked up is if he done did all that changing and he's married with children or God knows what, he's happy with another bitch. Why couldn't you be that way with me when I needed you to be that way? Now you done got cleaned up for some raggedy asshole.
That's my energy. Like, that's my love and my support for you. Made that. But okay.
Y'all, that's exactly what happened to the ex that I was just talking about. I was trying to get him to be all of these things. And he even admitted this in our conversation. Like, I know you were on a different level as far as what I was mentally. And he said, I tried to implement that in the relationship after me. And living together, and they were talking about having kids and stuff together. Oh, he's gonna fuck me up for saying all this, but he tried to implement everything that I was trying to get him to be in that next relationship. And Karma's a raggedy bitch, and it all came back on him. All the shit that he did to me ended up happening to him.
But was that not like a gut punch to hear him say that? And it's just like,
you know what? I felt so vindicated in that. Like, hearing him say that, it made me feel good. But on the other hand, I felt bad for him because as a result of that, like, he ended up having to get therapy and go through that type of shit or whatever. But I did feel vindicated in a lot of
No, fuck all that. Cause it might turn around on you. You better be careful what you do to me. Fuck that. You will sit here and you will go through the pitfalls of life. And girl, you're gonna be sitting there crying, talking about some shoulda, coulda, woulda. Bitch, if you would have did me the right way, you probably wouldn't have been having to go through this in your next situation. So I love those because life will force you to sit your motherfucking ass down somewhere.
Yeah.
By hook or crook, you will. And I'm here for that. And that makes me feel better because that lets me know that karma is on my side and that bitch made ass nigga is going to get everything that he's owed, honey. So, yeah.
Oh, believe me. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Here for it,
and it sucks for me because when it happened in my situation, I was in a place of healing. And even though that's great, at the time, it did me no justice because I wanted to feel good that he was going through, but I was just like, Lord, you know, it's not worth it. I'm not mad at, you know, I was so mad at myself for being so fucking mature. But that other nigga, that Aries nigga I was telling you about in the stories, you already know, bitch. The Snickers went in the motherfucking gas tank, bitch. Certain times I can hold my peace, but there are other times where, bitch, I will vindicate. Lord, I am sorry. I had to do it my way because I needed to know. He may have gotten his own vengeance, but so for some situations, I need to know that you got what was coming to you because I gave it to you.
Yeah, again, reclaiming my time. I don't have time for karma. Sometimes she might get on a nigga 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Sometimes instant gratification is best. And I would just, and to see it with your own eyes. I would love to like watch a nigga's car flip over 8 times, girl, and get tossed off of the
I want to see it. I want to touch the failure. I don't want you to be loaded with guilt for the rest of your life, dealing with depression. Okay, that's fine. God bless. But bitch, I want to see something tangibly.
Kind of like what Jace experienced. Like the other nigga did him so dirty, he had to get therapy. So I know he may watch this, but I'm sorry. I don't know you. Jason knows your child. Life will force you to take accountability, especially if you're a good person. Because I feel like no matter the shit that I talk on here, I'm innately a really good person. And I feel like when you fuck over good people, you are at the top of karma's list. And it seemed like karma came real quick for that nigga because he fucked over a really good person. Now you see, so hopefully moving forward, as you are right now, actually in your particular situation, he sees these things. He's taking accountability for these things. I need niggas to be more like that. In the moment, I get it. We're still growing. Again, we base decisions off of our experiences. So through that experience is what he based his newfound decisions on. Because, girl, he knows Miss Karma wrapped his motherfucking ass up in that. You know,
I don't want to laugh, but I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Mama got took.
But took in.
To kind of go back on the question about being friends with exes, I'm cool with every single ex that I've ever had. The last person that I dated, I chose not to maintain any type of friendship or connection with him.
Okay.
Every guy that I've ever dated, since the very first guy that I've been with, I'm able to text, call, message on Facebook or whatever. You know, however we're connected or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm able to do that. So that is something that I am grateful for, and I'm proud of that because most people can't say that. And
I can't.
It bothered me so much, like those 8 years that this ex that I was talking about, that we weren't able to do that. Like that bothered me the entire time. That I wasn't able to say, damn, I'm cool with him, or at least pick up the phone, hey, how are you doing, or send him a message or anything like that. So I was so grateful. I'm so grateful now to where we're at.
For sure.
I really like that. And that's when you're saying, oh, wedding bells and all of this shit, I'm like, I don't really know about that because it's taken so long to get where we are now. I like what we have now.
That's true, but I mean that the friendship y'all have makes for a great foundation to build on. Y'all have that. Y'all don't necessarily have to stay there. And what enlightened me to say that was because I think there is nothing, well, aside from dads, I think dads in public with their kids is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. But I love a man who puts in the work. He's going to therapy. He's really doing the work to be a better man. And that's remarkable. That shows you that if he's willing to do work on self,
It's sexy to me. It really
It's
is.
sexy, and it also speaks to the fact that the relationship has to work, because like I don't know if I was telling y'all or my mom, but like therapy, even couples therapy, is not for the couple. If you work on being your best self and I work on being I said it tonight. If you work on being your best self and I work on being my best self, we can't help but make this relationship glow, because it's two celestial beings, hello Marvel, just doing what we do best.
I feel like too, like going on a little bit of what Jace was saying before that. Sometimes people are just not meant to follow you through your life like that. If they're an ex, and don't get upset because they're not friendship material after the relationship. Like some people are just not meant to be around that long, or meant to be in your space that long. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like even with some friendships and family members, sometimes you just get to your peak with that person, and if it doesn't work out and they're not there, then I don't get mad at stuff like that. I mean, it just is what it. People phase out of my life all the time, child, and people hit what reasons, seasons, and whatever the other shit is. Like people serve their purpose.
You and I, we can't really say that though, because we phase people out because we are very solitary. Like we stay to ourselves. We're very recluse. We're homebodies. So without even realizing, we isolate ourselves and isolate.
No, not even that though. I think sometimes, like, especially if it didn't work out that well, and you're an ex for a reason. A lot of times, it didn't work out as in that arena. And I also want to go back to something too, when it in the relation to that, like, how can I be friends with you knowing that we had intimate moments of intimacy, and also depending on how long we've been together. If I was with you for 5 years, let's just say, and then now we just want to be friends, if seeing you with someone else at some point or other would probably still spark me. I've seen you naked. We've walked around, we've shared toothbrushes at one point or another, even though it's disgusting. Yeah, but like, you know, though we've had Thanksgivings together, we've met each other's families, so to speak, you know, like we know each other's friendships. So to just be out of that relationship with you and to be your friend again, bitch, I don't think I can do that.
Well, let me be clear.
It that requires time.
It does take time to get to that.
It's that requires time.
Ooh. Love takes time
to heal when you're broken heart. Don't you see that I was blind to let you go? I can't expect the pain.
Come through with the vocals.
He just took it off from me. Okay, girl, whatever.
But cause you don't forget the lyrics any fucking way, bitch. But that takes time. Yeah, it absolutely does. You have to, you know, heal from the relationship, from the trauma of that, move on, forgive, because a lot of that angst inside of you is because you really haven't forgiven that person. And then after you forgive that person, you gotta forgive yourself.
Actually, I was gonna say that when you guys were talking about the revenge aspect of it, it's because you haven't forgiven the person. So that's why you're feeling that wrath and all of that shit. But once you actually forgive the person, and it's not even for them, it's more so for you. So
yeah.
But what if you're not ready for that though? Child, in the words of Cardi B, if we have beef forever. Like and
that's some
wait a minute, that is not true, bitch. We have seen you hash a lot of things out with people.
A lot of shit slide.
With people.
We're not gonna even talk about that shit.
With
bitches,
people.
you should have laid out that I wanted to lay out, but I'm gonna let them make it.